For being the largest streaming platform in the world, Twitch has been getting into a lot of hot water lately. I mean, just a few weeks ago, one of Twitch's big streamers, Dr. Disrespect, was outed for doing some really, big shit. But that's not the only thing. In a recent update, Twitch has also ruined its UI, making everything really confusing and, frankly, unusable. I mean, look at this Discover page, for example. How do I discover anything here without a search bar? And what about the fact that I literally don't know how to close this mini video in the bottom right here? There's no X button or anything. Am I just locked into watching Jason the Ween forever? I can't go watch KCO or Kai Cenat or one of the fitness live streamers that definitely don't have an OnlyFans. Ugh, anyway, let's just go to the drawing board and start redesigning this train wreck of a mobile app. Did you know the Twitch app has no homepage? I'm not trying to pull your leg. The first thing you see when you open the app isn't the homepage, it's the following page. Isn't that weird? Every other app labels their homepage as homepage. Why can't you, Twitch? Really strange. Let's change the name of this page from following to home and merge these two buttons on the left here into one browse function that can act both as your browse function and your search function. I mean, what's more confusing than trying to differentiate between what browse and search means? Aren't they almost the same? One last thing. Here at the top, this gray create button. This button doesn't actually let you create anything. It pulls you into Twitch's creator mode, which is a whole different set of things. If this were a button to set up a live stream, that'd make a bit more sense, but still, wouldn't it be better if that's just represented as a camera symbol instead of, well, whatever this symbol is? So let's move this new camera logo all the way to the right alongside all the other logos, redo the notification and messages logo to forms they're more easily recognizable from, and put the creator mode right in the middle of the screen to the left of all these symbols. This way, people can actually tell what everything does. Moving on down, the rest of the page are channels recommended for you. That's great, but where are my channels that I subbed to? Can we add a section for that? And finally, I'd like to play around with the idea of putting an image of the game's splash art as sort of a thumbnail on top of the stream, and not just a screenshot of the stream itself. Maybe the streamers could even make their own thumbnails if they'd like, or there could be an option to enable either the game splash art or just a raw image of the stream for the streamer to decide. More options are always nice, right? Okay, enough of looking at a homepage. Let's actually take a look at some streams. Actually, correction. Let's look at some videos. Or wait, is it streams? I'm on the clips page here, which I assume are videos of streams, but there's a giant live icon right under the streamer's profile. And when I go to the live section, I get a live stream, but it's in vertical format. I don't know what's going on here, to be honest. You're obviously trying to copy what TikTok is doing, Twitch, so why not just borrow their layout? Instead of live and clips, let's put a following and a for you option instead, and then put these options for watching either videos or clips, or both if you're into that, as filter buttons under these options instead. Now you can watch videos from your for you page, clips from your following page, both from your for you page, etc., etc. Look at all these combinations you could use. On to the actual video player. Could we utilize your colors more, Twitch? You have this Twitch purple shade that you brand your logo, your offices, your conventions in, but you don't use it on the follow button in this feed? Did we run out of paint or something? You want people to follow your streamers, right? Why not make it purple? And let's align this follow button to the name of the streamer and enlarge the purple verification check after their name so everyone knows who's real, who's fake, and who's who. Speaking of who's who, let's go discover some new streamers. A discover page without a search bar is like Google without, well, a search bar. How am I supposed to discover anywhere here? I get you have all these categories and this search icon down here in the bottom right that does all that for you, but why can't I just search for the categories in a search bar that's in the middle of the screen instead? Actually, before that, I need to address the very top of the page. There's no uniformity between the top of the page on the home page and here. I mean, look at it, it's just an empty space. That's really confusing. Can we have the homepage top bar stick to all these main tabs like this, and then put the search bar under that? We can then pretty shove the rest of the existing Discover page below this, and we can even keep the pretty little streaming categories here too for easy access. And going back to the filters button next to the search bar, we can let people search by whatever tags they want, and let them choose whether or not they want the highest viewed streamers at the top, or maybe give the smaller guys a chance with the algorithm. Oh, and add a big red X at the top so they know how to exit the page. I'm sure this won't come up later. These two tabs down here, Browse and Search, I'm combining into one browse function immediately. Like, okay, let me show you. Here are all the old browse pages. Typical enough, but then let's go to this old search page. Isn't this that spacebar on the home page that was missing before from the home page that we put in already? So we don't need this search tab at all. And even if we did, I would never put two logos named Browse and Search next to each other and expect anyone to know the difference. So I'm getting rid of Search since we already covered it, and reorganizing this browsing page. Now for the top bar, instead of just having categories and live channels, I'll add another label called Videos, so you can search for those as well. A browse section should cover everything, shouldn't it? I'll keep the categories channel pretty much the same, and the filter icon here at the top right the same as well. Okay, now we can get to actually watching some live streams. To be honest, there's nothing much to change on the live stream page. Everything is really neatly organized already. The only issues come from this stream interface itself. I get that we're watching a live stream, but that doesn't mean you have to get rid of the ability to go back in time and rewatch something, right? Or maybe you joined and your internet craps out and now you're stuck at 34.2 seconds behind the live stream and you can't write any topical comments. So why not add 10-second forward and rewind buttons? So we can do that. Oh, and also, let's take a page out of YouTube's book and add a red stream progress bar down here so you know whether you're watching live, not live, or somewhere in between. All the rest of this page is fine. Let's go watch something else now. Okay, this mini player down here, I like it. Nice and tiny so I can see the rest of the page. Except, what if I just don't want it there at all? How do I close out of it? There's no close button or anything. Swipe up, left, down, right? Surely we can't make a big deal out of an X button to close out of something, right? I literally said it when we were fixing the filter feature back a minute ago. Let's add an X button here at the top of the mini player so I can free myself of whatever live stream I'm watching at will, and maybe a pause button in case some crazy shit happens while I'm searching for other stuff. Okay, you know what? I changed my mind. I want to go look at some VODs. Okay, now we see the forward and rewind buttons, except the fast forward button is 30 seconds and the go back button is 10 seconds. What? This doesn't make any sense. Either make both 30 seconds or both 10 seconds. I'm gonna elect to make both 10 seconds, since 30 seconds seems like really awkward to handle considering stream clip moments happen sometimes in fractions of a second. And hey, if you want to go forward or back in bigger increments, just hold the button and let it do it for you. Like how YouTube does it. Aside from that, nothing much wrong with this page, to be honest, except for all these option icons next to every single one of these messages in the chat. This just looks ridiculous. Can we get rid of these? I'm willing to bet that these are more often not used than used. Now let's try a hand at streaming ourselves. Actually, I'm kind of camera shy, so never mind. But, how do I get out of creator mode? There's nothing at the top, nothing in the middle, nothing in the bottom. Is this how streamers are born? People that accidentally clicked on the create button and are forced to stream because they don't know how to get out? Come on, Twitch. Put a watch mode button here at the top so I can escape this hell. Phew. Okay. Now let's get back to some of my favorite streamers. These profile pages are really confusing. I'm not sure if Jason put this big purple banner at the top that's exactly the same color as all the social media logos down here to troll us, or if Twitch is just being weird. Well, assuming this is Twitch, can we change this top color to something else so that the purple accents on the rest of the page actually stand out? Maybe blue? And speaking of too much purple, I get it. These social media links are on your site, Twitch. You can do whatever you'd like with them. But since when was the Instagram icon purple? Or TikTok? Or Twitter? X? This just doesn't make sense. Can we have the signature colors of these social media apps instead so I can easily tell which is which? Let's also reformat this live, just chatting with 12.7K viewers portion to something that is a bit more hierarchical so we can tell what's going on. The centering of this follow icon is also just nonsensical, along with the notification icon. Speaking of, to anyone watching this video who doesn't use Twitch, did you realize what the heart icon even meant? I only know it means follow because I've used Twitch before, but this concept of heart icon equals follow is not widespread enough to not give it a label, Twitch. I'm gonna reorganize this section so everything is centered and you know what's going on. The rest of this is just minimalist design taken a bit too far, in my opinion. There should be a gray highlight behind this home about schedule bar to separate the profile section from the videos or clips section. And let's make the font of the titles of these live streams smaller so we can fit in some more information. Oh, and also, for my friends out there who don't have unlimited data on their phone plans, can we add an option to manually autoplay instead? Maybe you can change this in the settings or something if you want everything to autoplay automatically, but autoplay takes up a ton of battery and data, so it's better to just let users have control over what they want playing or not. Oh, one last thing, again with this browse or search fiasco here at the bottom right of the screen. Combine them. Now, next tab. The About page is really the streamer's discretion whether or not they want to make it look stylized and aesthetic or have a bunch of minions here. And frankly, that's good. The only thing I have to say here is why not make these pictures' default setting be rounded rectangles instead of normal rectangles? All the options above it are in rounded rectangles, so why not keep everything uniform? I mean, I don't know, maybe Jason did manually set these square rectangle minion banners himself, who knows? Maybe we can ask him the next time he streams. Honestly, this schedule section doesn't need much changing besides things we've already done already. Next. Up until now, Twitch has looked very different from YouTube since, well, Twitch is a streaming platform and YouTube is a video platform. But now we're on a section of a streamer's profile where it's literally all videos. And Twitch still kept their streaming style UI instead of just copying the layout YouTube has been using for over a decade. This doesn't make any sense. Let's copy YouTube on how to set this section up, and add a drop-down here on the left side so we can sort by whichever way we'd like. What's interesting about Twitch, though, is that there's not only videos, but there's also shorter videos. The Clips tab is clips. Cool. I mean, not much to say here. Except the way Twitch differentiates clips from videos is non-existent. I mean, look at this. If I took away the timestamp at the top left that gives away which one is a 10.5-hour stream and which one is a 14-second clip, would you even be able to tell which is which? We should differentiate these forms of video out, making users try to find a tiny timestamp in the top left of a small portion of the screen is kind of a dick thing to do. Why not, instead, we just add a giant play button right in the middle of the clip so we know it's a clip. I mean, it's not anything special, but it's still some differentiation, and some is better than none at all. We're almost done here, folks. The chat section is kinda jarring. All the other sections had it so that this profile section at the top stuck to the top and everything else was jammed underneath it. But now suddenly this chat section removes it and puts the chat on full display. Fair game, I guess, but I'd rather have consistency. Put the profile section back, please, and if you really want to scroll through the chat, you can just scroll in this chat section under it. And there you have it. Twitch's mobile app done correctly. Now you can exit out of live stream mini players easily, get out of creator mode with the press of a button, and a bunch of other quality of life stuff. Maybe now people will finally start watching live streams on Twitch again. Or maybe YouTube will still steal viewers and streamers from your site. But that's a UI issue anymore, Twitch, since YouTube's mobile UI is also a train wreck. Maybe we'll bring them to the drawing board next.